चन्ना मुसेल बगाउँदै हुनुहुन्छ
फोटो खिचेको
हजुर हजुर
मेरो नातिको जय हो शक्ति मनोकामना पूर्ण होऊ डाक्टर बनि जाऊ ठुलो डाक्टर अमेरिकाको ठुलो डाक्टर बनि जाऊ यो देउसी चलाऊ बचाइ पुगा मेरो नाति ठुलो मान्छे बन्नु यो जनै गाडी बन्नु फर्स्ट हाफ यो ढोलाइमा एक भाग्यमान एउटा भाँतीले चलाइले
एक गीत सुनेपछि मैले फेरि पक्रिहाल्ने हो
भगवान मेरो नाति ठुलो मान्छे बनि जाऊ यो देउसी चलाऊ मनोकामना पूर्ण बनाया ठुलो डाक्टर
हजुर मामा
मेरो नाति बाँची गऊ समय गऊ अमेरिकाको टप डाक्टरको भेटाउ भाग्यमान भएका बाँचुकेका यो अपना झोलाइमा भए
ल रञ्जक र शालिन अब प्रस्थान अमेरिकातिर गर्दै सबै बिदाई हुँदै आमाहरू पनि लागेका छन्
नरुनु आमा हामी आइहाल्यौँ फेरि आइहाल्ने छिटो आउने अब माउ बाबा पनि आउनुहुन्छ भयो त झन् आन्टीहरूसँगै
नरुनुहुन्न त्यो इन्डिया हो नि त त्यहाँदेखि अब
हो महाकाली
महाकाली त बाह्र टाढै छ अझै पहिले उतै थियो यो गिरिजाको पालामा केपी ओली गृहमन्त्री हुँदाखेरि बेचेको भन्ने यही त हो नि बाबु
Alright guys, we're going back to India now. We're on our way, we're on the border. We gotta get everything checked again before we get to the airport. So that's what we're doing right now, taking stuff out. On our way to Delhi airport.
महाकाली रिभर भने यो अब
सुकी छ ए उत्या रहेछ पानी
It's the Mahakali River right there, everyone. We're on the pool right now at Banbasa. We're going to our car. Such a long walk. Immigration took like 1 hour. I would say like 30 minutes at, actually no, I'd say it took a little more than an hour. 30 minutes at Nepal and probably like 45 minutes at India. But right now we're on our way to the car and going straight to the airport. Hey guys, we're at a petrol shop right now. This car uses this gas called CNG. It stands for compressed natural gas, which is just basically methane, hydrocarbons. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now, just fueling up. And then we're off to Delhi airport. Alright guys, this is India's terminal right here. We got McDonald's, like KFC, dude. We have like everything here. So in Delhi they have Korean mixed spicy paneer burger. So that's what I got. Got some fries. He got an ice cream sundae, and we also got a same thing right here.
So overall, I would say that our trip to Nepal was very fun, very exciting, and helped us learn a lot. For me, I had been to Nepal before. I was born there, and in 2019, I went back there, but I only really saw Kathmandu and Dangari. And so having this trip start from Kathmandu and go west all the way to Mustang and then down to Lumbini and then west again to Dhangari. Seeing the whole of Nepal gave me a new insight into the country where I was born in. I'd say that seeing the incredible sights, the mountains in Mustang, the jungles of Bordia, and all the places in between definitely helped me gain new insight. It was also very fun. It was fun for me, it was fun for Ranjak, and it was very fun for driver uncle too. The three of us had a good time traveling in our car, and when we stopped by, the food was always delicious. Well, except Yak Donald's, but it was almost always delicious. One of the things that we loved most about going to Nepal was seeing our family members. Shout out to them. They're awesome. They took great care of us. And in addition to our family members, I would say that the locals we encountered along the way were very, very helpful, especially the people at the hotels, people at the restaurants, and when we were in a village that we weren't so familiar with, driver uncle would just roll down the windows and ask a local for directions, and they'd always be happy to help and point the way. That's something you don't really see anymore in America these days. And so yeah, the people of Nepal, very hospitable, very friendly, and the culture of Nepal is one of a kind. You have Buddhists in the north, and then you have the Pahad, which has a wide variety of ethnicities. Then you have the Tarai, which also has its own mix. You see a wide range of cultures everywhere, and we got to experience that. In Mustang, we went to the monastery. In the Pahad, we went to various temples. And we stayed in the villages where our family's from also. And then in the Tarai, we saw Dhangari, we saw Lumbini. That area has its own unique culture and demographics compared to the Pahad, compared to Kathmandu. And so each part of Nepal is unique. And one thing they all have in common is that they're all very hardworking. And whether it's seeing, stone breakers on the way, chipping away stones with their pickaxes, or farmers in the Tarai, working hard for their crop. You see hard workers everywhere in the country. And Kathmandu was just crazy. Everyone is hustling. It's a super fast-paced city, and I think it would catch a lot of people who aren't familiar with it off guard the moment they get in. It caught me off guard. And one last thing, if we ever go to the Tarai during the summer, be prepared for the heat. My goodness, I live in the Midwest, and I could not deal with it. It was god-awful, but, it was still fun.
Hey guys, we made it to the end. This is a final episode of the series, Beyond the Himalayas. Before I end the entire series, I wanted to sit down here and talk to you guys straight from the heart. First of all, I had the time of my life during this trip. I had so much fun. Looking back, it's kind of crazy how this trip even happened. This trip started out as a joke. I first texted Shalin and I was like, hey, after you're done with your finals, do you want to go on a trip to Nepal? Not thinking much would happen. But then he responded and said, you know what? I've been wanting to go to Nepal for a long time. Let's do it. And then we started looking at tickets right away. What we didn't expect were all the hurdles, such as convincing our parents, because this was going to be our first trip without them. There was a lot of convincing that went into it. The riots in Kathmandu that kind of happened out of nowhere. And a week before our flight departed, the India-Pakistan conflict happened, and we weren't even sure if our flight was going to get canceled or not. I contacted my airline company and I was like, hey, is there any updates as to whether flights are still going to go to Delhi, because the conflict was happening. Even during a week before our takeoff time, we were still not sure whether we were going or not. We were looking at alternative options such as Finland, such as somewhere else in the US like Washington. But internally, we were hoping that this conflict wouldn't escalate, so we would still get the chance to go to Nepal and explore all these places that we had planned to do so. For me, this trip was more than just sightseeing. The primary purpose was seeing family, my grandparents, my aunt, uncles. We have other family members that live in Nepal. Nepal isn't just about the amazing landscapes, it's the warmth of the people, the feeling of home. That's what it's all about. From Kathmandu to Mustang to Pokhara to Lumbini to Dhangari, every single place left a mark. It's really difficult to choose one favorite moment, but if I did have to choose one, it would have to be going to Muktinath temple. That was really special, not only because of how sacred it is in Hinduism, but mainly because I got to go there for my grandparents. They have always dreamed of going to Muktinath temple. A lot of people dream of going there, but are unable to do so due to many reasons. For them, it was because of their health reasons. FaceTiming them from Muktinath temple right in front of it and showing them what it looks like and having them do their little prayers over the phone, that meant the world to me. That was such a special moment. That's a moment that I'll forever remember, forever cherish, and that is honestly my favorite moment from this trip. I could sit here and thank everyone we met along the way, all the people that showed us love, invited us for dinner, met with us, but if I were to do that, this video would be an hour long. You guys all know who you are. If you guys are in the video, if you guys are in the photo, if we met with you, thank you so much for your hospitality, for showing love to us, for showing us around Kathmandu, for letting us stay at your house, for having us over for dinner, for taking us to different places and showing us around. You guys really made this trip very special, and I cannot thank you guys enough. And now to speak to my future self for a second, this trip humbled me in ways that I didn't expect. I saw a lot of families struggling, lots of kids on the streets asking for food, asking for money, lots of schools with very limited to no resources. This made me realize something important. Back then, I used to dream of winning the lottery, winning the Powerball, the Mega Million, you know, these big jackpots. But after this trip, I realized that I actually already had won the biggest lottery of all time. Back in 2008, my family and I, we were selected for the diversity visa lottery. And with that one stroke of luck that brought us to the United States, it gave my sister and I so many opportunities here in the United States. After doing some reflections, I now realize that my sister and I, we would not have had the same opportunities in Nepal as we have here in the United States. I am so grateful to be here. My parents, they left everything that they had behind, you know, their families, their jobs, the comfort of their home, and they came to this new land just so my sister and I, we could have a better future and we could have all these new opportunities that they never got for themselves. That fuels me every single day. That really makes me realize where I came from. That sacrifice isn't lost on me. It truly makes me want to be a better person and to achieve all these goals that I have. In 2 months, I'm starting medical school and I'm going to carry this trip and all the lessons and everything that it taught me through the next chapter of my life. I promise one day I'm going to come back to Nepal, not just as a visitor or a tourist, but as someone who's going to give back to the country, whether it's through healthcare or through education or by just being present. I promise I will be back. So to wrap this all up, I just want to thank you guys one more time. Thank you so much for following along the journey. I hope this series gave you guys a small glimpse into the beauty of Nepal, from the eastern hills to the western plains, from the city lights to the mountain peaks. Until next time, Nepal.